So I'm sure by now, if you've watched like 2 minutes worth of any Apex video I put out on YouTube with Alex in it, you'll know his opinion on the game. Just leave it at that. And so he's questioned me multiple times of why I personally love the game Apex Legends. So he wanted me to make a coherent, full-length response to that question of why I like the game. So I made a list. Let me go talk about it. First and foremost, the lore and characters. Yeah, sure, other games have characters that have backstories. And a lot of this, and a good bit of this list is going to be in reference to Overwatch because it's the game that he most likes, at least right now, that we're both familiar with, that I played a fair bit of. As much as he would say I don't play the game a lot, but whatever. So yes, both games have characters that have lore, and the game itself has just lore. But just the way the characters interact, even in like the comic series, and like in-game little Easter eggs and their voice lines and stuff, maybe to like certain locations, certain events, and just, like even to certain cosmetic things, like certain skins that, were from this, say, particular event that was for this certain character or group of characters or whatever. But when I first think of Apex and what I like about the game, it's the lore and the characters that really make them really unique with the different voices and like the person behind the character, if that makes sense. Secondly, just the great community about the game. There's all kinds of people that stream it and just play it. There's a potential there to make friends, build communities. Personally, I watch a lot of streamers that play Apex, at least probably 5 or 6 that I follow at least, and it's just a very watchable game. Like, I've tried watching Overwatch streams. Like, at first I watched them, back when I was first starting the game, learning how, certain things work, seeing what good Overwatch players like. And of course some of that comes with the personality behind the streamer. But some of the streamers I watch for Apex, some are high energy, long streams, some are, a little shorter, kind of just chill. But it's just a very easy and fun game to watch. And likewise, it's very streamable for me, just because, like, a lot of stuff can happen, and you can, talk about it if that's the way you stream or the way I stream, or you can just kind of just play the game out and see what happens. And with that, I'm not terrible at the game like I am in most shooters, where I turn a corner, I'm dead, or I switch a weapon, I'm dead, scratch my nose, I'm dead. I've definitely gotten better, and I'm still not great. I'm only level I think 170, and I've got probably, I can actually check how much hours I've got in here right now. 293 hours. It's 293 hours. Level 170. So I'm not terrible at that. I'll talk about that later. I'll talk about Overwatch. It's very rewarding, which is why I play it. I'll get back to that later as well. And it's free. Yeah, I mean, you can't get much cheaper than that. Sure, you can pay for certain things like, Apex coins to buy other stuff, but you don't have to do that. I'm all about trying a free game, and being that this game is as great as it is for being free is just fan-fucking-tastic. Other games that are kind of more, or other reasons I like the game that are more specific to me as a person, is that it has a variety of guns I can actually use. And in most shooters, I can't really use sniper rifles, not because I'm not good at it per se. It's just that in a shooter, usually when you're running a sniper, it's just a sniper and like a pistol, or a sniper and some machine gun or something like that. You have to use an extra perk for, and all that mess. Or like the big clunky machine guns, you fire 2 shots and the opponent's got 37 shots in you and you're dead. Or a shotgun that shoots 3 feet and does 19 damage to a headshot. Whereas in Apex, I can run just about any gun except the Havoc, and that's about it, I would say. Mostly because I haven't really picked up the gun, because when I first couple times I picked it up, did not like it. But I know a lot of people run that, so maybe I'll try it again one day. You can slide. I like sliding. Next point. And so, when I first got the game and was playing it, I played it every day. Like, daily. So just because I liked the game, I was learning the game, and, kind of just wanted to see, how much I can improve. So I kind of got into a habit of playing every day. So now it's kind of like a little self-streak I've got going of logging on, playing at least 2 games every day or so to get that little challenge done. To get experience and all that stuff. So moving on to comparing against other games, mainly Overwatch first. So unlike Overwatch, in Apex this is the main thing I like about Apex or just shooters or battle royales in general over something like Overwatch is you can more or less engage anywhere. What I mean by that is, like in Overwatch, most maps have choke points, like 2 or 3, maybe 4 choke points where combat is focused. Both teams get there, they fight it out, one team wins, and you push past choke or they hold choke, and that's it. So literally it's like every map, there's 2 or 3 points in which you're battling. Because if you're not at the choke, it literally just more or less depends on the characters and what they can do. If it's a Mercy versus a Roadhog, who do you think's gonna win that? If it's like maybe a D.Va versus a Ryan, or like a D.Va versus Zarya, okay, it's like if it's two different DPS versus, it just depends on who does more damage or what, or who does more damage the fastest or whatever. Tank versus DPS depends on again, like tank health and abilities versus DPS. Damage and evasion, all that matters. And like I said, if you're support versus anything else, DPS or tank, good luck. I know Anna has her grenade in her sleep, okay? And I know like Lucio has his speed and Mercy can fly and all that stuff. I'm just saying, 1v1, full health, like 1v1 type thing. You're not at the choke. Like anywhere else on the map, it's pretty one-sided. Is my point. And also, most teams are not going to engage full on 6 versus 6 just out in the open. It's going to be, unless you're on like the court or something, it's mostly going to be at the choke points, which is just, it's boring. Like, you go from having the entire playing field map to having 3 points, 2 or 3 points on that map, every map. It's just like, oh, we're playing Havana, we're at the first choke point, let's battle out for 3 minutes. Well, we got the choke, moving on to the next choke. Oh, we lost that, time to go back. Like, really? That's fun to you? No. That makes it more repetitive. Second, character does not equal loadout. Character does affect abilities that you can use, but it doesn't limit your loadout for the most part. And sometimes it actually helps your loadout, like Rampart has her increased efficiency with machine guns or whatever. So that way, if you want to play a support character and run a sniper rifle, you can. You want to be a skirmisher that runs pistols, sure. If you want to be a defensive person who uses a submachine gun, why not? And speaking of abilities, I feel that for the most part, the Apex Legends abilities for the characters are more unique and are stronger than the ones in Overwatch. Because in Overwatch, it's kind of depending on your role in that healing ultimates just heal more. Yes, they can also deal more damage, like Moira's Coalescence or Anna's Nano. They're still like support based. And with something like Wraith, for example, where she can, go invincible for a solid 3-4 seconds, or creates a portal that you can jump from, literally anywhere to anywhere for the most part. Just feel that's a bit more unique and can really change the course of the battle quicker, in my opinion, in my experience. Apex has challenges. It has daily challenges, it has weekly challenges, it has event challenges, which makes the game more rewarding. Going back to that rewarding aspect of it. So it's like, again, I would sign on daily and play. Technically, I only need to play 1 game, but there's a challenge to play 2 games a day. I play the 2 games, and it's like, oh, we need to deal 250 damage today. You've dealt 197. Maybe in 1 more game you'll get that extra damage. Play 1 more game, or you need to outlive 200 opponents. You've outlived 150. Play a few more, you see if you get that. That literally happened to me a couple days ago, or a couple of times, where I was like, oh, I would just hop on for a couple of games, and it's like, oh, I'm almost done with that challenge, and I'm almost ranked up from that, or I'm almost ranked up, and doing that challenge could get me that rank up. So why not? Let's just play it out. And so I kept getting closer and closer to other challenges. So I was only going to play like 2 games. I ended up playing at least 10. And leveled up at least once, I think. Which I was like, yeah, I don't mind, because it's fun. Like I said, it's rewarding, because actually having an objective to do is just more fun. I do it. Yes, I know there's events in Overwatch like that, where they, like, after a certain amount of wins, you get this skin, or this spray, or a loot box, or whatever, but that's nothing compared to the challenges in Apex, because you, like I said, dailies that change out daily, weekly ones that take a little more effort, change out weekly, and then events like the current one, the Holiday Bash, which I never played before. It seems really cool. You get those challenges as well to play out. Gives you something to do and look forward to just playing the game. Not there's anything wrong with that either, just, again, more rewarding. There's less incentive to die, because leaving the game, requeuing, then loading in, and then picking your characters, and then launching out the jet, and then landing, versus like Overwatch or Call of Duty, you just respawn. You just respawn. So it's like if you're in a firefight and it's like a 3v2, a 3v1, and the other game's like, oh, I'm gonna lose anyway, so why not just die and just respawn? But in Apex, a lot less incentive to die in that point. So you're more likely to be more cautious with your plays, or maybe take more risk to see what happens, because it's, again, you can always requeue again, but like I said, less incentive to do so because it takes longer to go through that. And yes, there's sometimes you land in, you die number 19 squad, and you gotta requeue. That's just battle royale, so I accept that, and I'm okay with doing that. And accepting that. This one might be a little controversial, but I think Apex Legends has a better, or at least clearer, rank structure than Overwatch, in that it doesn't exactly tell you, like, oh, it'll tell you the SR and what that SR correlates to as far as rank, but it doesn't tell you, like, once you get to this SR, you're this rank now. You could look it up, yes, and all that stuff, but Apex just tells you right there how many points you have, tells you how many points it takes to play each game, how much you win, how that breaks down. It's very set and very clear, and it's like a fixed cost, and more or less you have an idea of what you're gonna, like, you know what you're getting in game, and then you kind of know, like, okay, obviously more kills and assists equals more RP, a certain rank equals certain RP, so you have an idea of how much you're gonna get based on that kind of stuff anyway, even if it didn't tell you in game. And speaking of rank, I have a higher rank in Apex than Overwatch. My highest rank was bronze in Overwatch, and with that also it's harder to like rank up, because yes, when me and Alex first played rank in Overwatch, we were not great. We're still not great. I'm not great at all, but we were in bronze. We're both been stuck in bronze, even though I would admit, is far better at the game just in general. I would say that's just the way the game works. You're kind of stuck to that rank unless you can like really pull a team together and really make some great plays. Versus Apex, it's like, yeah, you might lose RP constantly, but to a point, like, yeah, you're gonna get, if you keep losing RP, eventually you'll get back into bronze. But it's not like you're stuck in bronze. As long as you actually can get a kill or assist, or get rank 10 or 11 or higher, you get RP back to keep going up in rank. And statistically speaking, most players, like a solid 85-90% of players, I think, are in silver or gold, and I'm in gold. Not saying again that I'm great at the game, but I'm not terrible. And I think I could be a solid gold 2 right now if I was grinding ranked, which I really want to. But I really know how I really think it takes, a good amount of warming up to get into the groove, to get into the motions of the game to actually get good, to do something in ranked. And I just don't have the time. But I feel like I said, I'm a solid gold 2, I would say. Probably not quite plat right just yet. But obviously I'm definitely better than silver or bronze, which I was in Overwatch. And just in general, with recording with Alex and making YouTube videos, I get more content out of Apex Legends than I do Overwatch. Just because I want the content to be funny in a way, or I want to save good plays. And it's a lot harder to do that in Overwatch, because not just because I play a support role, because I do some boss killing sometimes. But it's just because I don't talk a lot in Overwatch. Not because in particular reason. I wouldn't say I'm not having fun, but I kind of just, I just heal. Just kind of go with the flow. With Apex, you really have to communicate, because it's a team of 3, not just a team of 6. And like I said, you can engage anywhere, so you need more communication, and there's better plays. I think I get better plays in Apex, obviously, because I'm not just in a support role. I'm actually shooting and doing stuff like that. I probably can improve the amount of Overwatch footage I get, but from what I've already put out and what I currently do while playing, I get more YouTube uploadable content from Apex Legends than I do Overwatch, which is why there's twice as many Apex videos as there's Overwatch, even though we play about the same. At least we did. Like, compared to other games, specifically like shooters like Call of Duty, or just other battle royales, like Fortnite, Warzone, Blackout, stuff like that, it's just more fun. There's abilities, unlike unlike Fortnite, or any of the COD battle royales. It's more realistic than Fortnite. It's more objective based in that you not only have to kill, but also move to certain locations, stuff like that, whereas shooters kind of turn around and do whatever. Which is kind of, I guess, more battle royale based point I'm making there. And speaking of events, it has other events and game modes. Similar to Overwatch, but again, it's better than like the other CODs in that aspect. Like right now, the holiday event where it's basically like capture the flag, but it's moving train type thing. And then last month, back in near Halloween, there was the Shadow Royale event, which I thought was pretty fun. And personally, I just think it has the best and most fun movement of any game I've played so far. Because of the sliding, like I said, I brought up the sliding earlier. I love sliding. It has sliding. It has like you can like wall jumps. You can like change direction pretty quickly. You can combo abilities like horizons, technical stuff like that. I just really like how you can move around, and I've seen some pretty just sick movement videos on YouTube. How you can like scale building in like a few seconds on the side of it, or go from point A to B in like no time, which probably goes back to also the character abilities of like Wraith, repositioning, horizons, tactical and stuff, and heck, Octane's abilities and like that. It's just a lot about movement, and I really like that. The only game that's come close is Black Ops 3, because that has sliding as well, but that was the game that was another shooter, so it wasn't, the only thing it had was sliding, from what I remember. Now some other more general stuff about the game that I like. I like to say that it was my first full true game on mouse and keyboard on my new computer. That's probably not entirely true, because I definitely played Overwatch before I played Apex on the new computer, but I again played that on controller. I played other games, new games, on this computer before I found Apex. Pretty sure I played Bright Memory, which I also love that game as well. I'm sure we played other stuff like Shotgun Farmer, Uno, Skyrim I played on here on my computer before I played Apex. Rise of the Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. But I played those on controller, the Tomb Raider games. So like you see, I played other games on the new computer before I played Apex. And I even played Rainbow Six Siege on this computer before Apex on my mouse and keyboard. But that game, I played it like an hour and a half with Alex. But I don't think it really counts. As far as like actually loading it like a game fully on mouse and keyboard, playing with the capabilities of my new computer, consider Apex to be that game. It's a battle royale. In that I like that aspect because I like the free-for-all game mode, just because in most team-based games like Overwatch or online multiplayer shooters like Call of Duty, you're on a team, but for the most part you're playing with strangers and there's no real team dynamic, but it's just 6v6, which doesn't really work. Whereas some of the Apex, it's 3 versus 57 kind of a deal. So it makes it a little bit more realistic in that it's a team-based free-for-all, because it takes a lot less communicating with 2 other people or 1 other people if you're playing with a friend than it would with 5 other people in a game like Overwatch. It also has a surprise factor of like, okay, you're dropping in this building, what kind of guns in there? Is it going to be a triple take sniper rifle? Is it going to be a wingman revolver? Is it going to be a R301 assault rifle? You don't know. Is that always fun? Landing, a hot landing and you get a sniper rifle? No, probably not. But, again, imagine if you drop in and you happen to have your perfect setup laying right there in front of you. It could happen. There's a surprise factor there. And then you also got like stuff like loot boxes, like Apex packs, which also were in Overwatch. But if you're that kind of thing, some stuff is pretty cool. I like it. I like some of the stuff. And then it's just Apex is a relatively new game. It came out last year technically. It just feels like it came out a lot longer than that, just because we're on season 7. It's been out technically like a year and a half, 2 years almost. So I feel it has some potential to still get new members. I mean, heck, the night season 7 launched, Twitch was just all about Apex Legends. Over 100,000 or 120,000 viewers on the game, which was just insane. It was great. I mean, servers were crashing, people weren't able to play, but it was kind of cool seeing that kind of reaction for a game that I like so much, and seeing people stream it and get first reactions to it too, it's just great. So now I can see that I've been recording for a solid 29.5 minutes. This is going to be a fun fucking edit. I feel that is a very thorough, complete response to the question of why I like the game Apex Legends. So, that is my response. Good day.